Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to round one of my locals mega tournament, local OTS store heart of the game mega tournament that took place this past Saturday. And the difference between this and our regular locals is we did 5 rounds of Swiss instead of 4, and we had a top cut to top 8, and a lot more, in terms of prize support than usual. Higher entry fee obviously comes alongside of that, so bit of a bigger event, more on the line, a little bit more competitive than your regular locals. And yeah, so we have about double the amount of feature matches we normally do this week, and also have deck profiles for you guys as well for top 4. Well, the one profile, yeah, I'll explain later as to why it's not going up, but I think I'll have 3 out of the top 4 profiles if everything goes according to plan. But yeah, hope you guys are going to enjoy this week of feature matches. There's going to be, 5 rounds of Swiss. So Monday through Friday we'll have features, and then the top cut will be going up over the weekend and into Monday probably. Or I might double upload on Sunday to the semifinals and the finals, so be on the lookout for that. But we have 2 good friends of mine here playing on the camera. My friend Alex on the left versus my friend Sheen on the right. You guys know him as the Mutant Master, and also on the Ogdoadic deck from time to time. My friend Alex, the resident prank kid / bird up player. Also Trickstar enthusiast on the Adventurer Prank Kid deck here today. Going first, and Prank Kid's play getting shut down by a simple Ash Blossom. That means Ash is not in the way to stop that Fusion Destiny from bringing out that Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. This is the Adventurer Prank Kid variant. One of the stronger decks this format, definitely. Rite of Aramesia is a really, really strong card. And you pair that with the very resource efficient engine that is the Prank Kid deck. It pretty strong deck, pretty tough deck to beat this format. And yeah, on the right we're gonna see my friend Sheen lead with a copy of Pot of Prosperity. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm probably just as lost as you guys when it comes to not only what 90% of the Ogdoadic cards do, but what the goal of the deck is necessary. I got a little bit of a sneak peek when I was putting it together. It is kind of a cool rank 4 toolbox that has a nice little bit of a control aspect to it. Some of the bigger monsters can help you out in simplified game states, it seems. And it can also go off on, Hulk combos, as you guys just saw. The Deskbot 001 getting revealed off of that Pot of Prosperity. And there's also a Lunalite engine in there as well. So we're going to see Snake Rain activate, pitching a copy of the Serenade Dance, and that is going to get ashed frame 1. And then we're going to see the Lunalite Kaleido Chick go ahead and normal summon itself, send Yellow Martin for cost, and then I think the effect is that it becomes the name of Yellow Martin. Now we're going to see him follow up with the Ogdoadic Water Lily, which basically I think is kind of like a dumbed down version of Snake Rain. It basically lets you foolish a reptile. Then I believe if you have 5 or more reptiles in your grave with different name, you can special summon one from the grave as well. And I believe that checks on resolution. So I think if you have 4 and send a 5th, you can revive like whatever you just sent. I think that's how it works. But he's going to send the Night Sword Serpent, which is a pretty cool card, a newer card as well. Not sure exactly which set it came out of, but it basically says if it is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can go ahead and special summon it, but banish it when it leaves the field. And right now we're going to see the Kaleido Chick actually crash into the Meow Mew here because of DPE's continuous like effect, which will make it so all of his opponent's monsters are going to lose 400 attack just because he has 2 Destiny Heroes in grave. And then we're going to see the Serenade Dance discard, will banish itself as cost and discard the Ogdoadic Water Lily to go ahead and special summon the Lunalite Tiger freshly off the ban. I guess not freshly anymore at this point. And not able to use the Yellow Martin there. Unless, it's been so long since I've seen a lot of the Lunalite cards, so this is a tough matchup for me to commentate. I know obviously everything, what's going on the left side, the Prank Kids, the Adventurer stuff, but been a long time since I've done any commentary over Ogdoadic and especially Lunalite. But I do have all the Ogdoadic cards pulled up because I literally have next to no idea what any of the cards do. But we will see. Okay, Yellow Martin is still going to bounce back. The Tiger. Wasn't sure if that the Martin had to return something only in the pendulum scales, because I know that's like a little loop you can do with Tiger, Chick, Chick, Tiger, etc., etc. And speaking of Lunalite, another friend of mine, Dalen, aka the DB Lurker, resident Lunalite Tri-Brigade player in our area, actually ended up going for the locals that took place after this, our standard locals, you know, the feature match from the locals that you guys see like feature matches from every week, was held after this tournament, because this one took place earlier in the day at around noon it started. I wasn't there. I didn't stay to record because I didn't want to be at locals from, you know, noon to midnight basically. But he did go 4-0, and I will be getting his profile for you guys next Saturday though, so it will be going up later than usual, probably about a week later. But we will see our Ogdoadic player establish a Dweller, which is going to come in kind of clutch. Unfortunately, it's going to, you know, be outed by the DPE, but Dweller will still do its job, making sure that the DPE loop is going to be stopped. That is not going to be able to activate its effect Engrave to reborn a Destiny hero during the next standby phase. But our Prank Kid player here is going to lead with a copy of Rite of Eremsir, getting the token, getting Fateful Adventure along with it, and then going ahead to search the Wandering Griffin Rider. So this will help establish an Omni Negate and 2 2K bodies, which is really nice, especially in a simplified game state. We'll see him discard Nibiru, and then that is going to come in clutch to help clear out his hand, and we're going to see him banish DPE and Celestial instead of Dasher, so keeping Dasher in the grave to possibly use its effect later on unless Dasher needs another Destiny hero in grave. He'll go ahead and get the draw 2, finding a Prank Kid, which is exactly what he needed. It looks like on the summon of that Prank Kid, he will go ahead and be able to search the Draco back, Rideable Dragon, which is an extremely underrated card. I mean, we all know how good Rite, Fateful Adventure, and Griffin Rider are, but I mean, Draco back is no slouch. I'm sure actually a lot of people know how incredibly good that card is. And we will see a battle phase here. We'll see him attacking with the Lampseas and the Griffin Rider. Drop his opponent down to 4,500. And because Meow Mew has already been exhausted from the previous turn, obviously with the deck only having access to 1 currently, going to make it a little bit difficult for him to continue to try and extend. And especially now that DPE has already been summoned, it's not like he has any Anaconda plays available to him either, which is a bit unfortunate. So with that being the case, let's see if our Ogdoadic Lunalite player can kind of get back in the game here. We will see Tiger get activated, and that is going to revive the Kaleido Chick. And I think we're going to see him attempt to use Yellow Martin in grave, and that will actually be negated by the Wandering Griffin Rider. So Omni Negate and only known interruption being burned at this point. 1 set in the back row, of course, could possibly be Pandemonium. Unlikely though, especially since, I mean, Draco back is in the hand, so, and that is also known as well, so it's definitely not Pandemonium. Could possibly be an Imperm, probably is most likely an Imperm. And we're going to see him get access to King of Feral Imps after normal summoning the Ogdoadic Nunu. A lot of different Ogdoadic monsters in this archetype, and they all do very weird things. Especially some involving your opponent adding cards back from the grave to their hand, drawing cards, reviving things from the grave. Very interesting mechanic. But you can kind of see now the synergy for the Lunalite engine being the rank 4 toolbox that it can be, helping you bridge the gap between the Lunalite engine and the Ogdoadic engine, getting you to King of the Feral Imps, which is essentially Rhoda in the extra deck. But it will be met with an Imperm here, which is unfortunate. You probably needed that search to help get going. I don't know if it would have necessarily got him full combo, but it definitely would not have hurt. Now, the Ogdoadic monster he used there was Nunu. It says you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to send 1 Dark Reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. If you control no monsters, or you control an Ogdoadic monster, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, but also banish it when it leaves the field. And then while it's on the field, you cannot special summon monsters except for reptiles while it's in your face-up monster zone. So it's kind of a graveyard extender. Unfortunately, cannot use that effect right now. We will see him go battle phase and attack over the Lampseas. And a little curious to see, well, as to why he didn't go for Zeus there. I guess it kind of makes sense. Maybe he wanted just to leave the King of the Feral Imps and see if he could out it, but Dracoback is a hell of a card, and he will be able to just play it and balance it, because neither, you know, Griffin Rider or the token get over it, because the King of Feral Imps is at 2,300. So he would need another method to get over it, and I guess if he wasn't able to get over it, he gets another search, another shot at a search, which is, you know, always nice. But, you know, Dracoback just too strong. So we see him swing in for another 4,000 past turn. We're going to see the Tiger bring back the Kaleido Chick. And then I think Yellow Martin attempting to activate again here. That will be met with a Wandering Griffin Rider. Pretty much same thing we saw last turn. Really can't get much going here for Ogdoadic, unfortunately, and that is going to signal the end of Game 1. We are into Game 2, and I'd also like to mention a quick shout out, not only to the Heart of the Game for always letting me film feature matches there, but also to Imperium Duelist and to TCG Player and the Coldest Water. If you guys are shopping on Imperium, don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. And if you guys are shopping on either TCG Player or the Coldest Water, don't forget to use the affiliate links I have to their site down in the description below. If you guys shop and check out using those links, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back in the channel and helps out a ton. So we will see Snake Rain get activated, pitching a Nunu. And Ash is going to be sent almost immediately, because, I mean, it's such a good Ash, Snake Rain, but since it's the first thing that he's done, hasn't invested anything else, Gamma is live, and Gamma will be there to punish. And that Night Sword Serpent will be able to be revived, which is super clutch. Just a free extender there. Definitely a card I think the deck was kind of missing. Very generic. You can get it off Snake Rain, you can get off the Water Lily. Helps you establish rank 4s, and it's kind of a turn after turn thing. And then we'll also see Chaos Ruler get summoned, since he was able to get access to a free level 8 Synchro here. And that of Chaos Ruler, one of the better level 8 Synchros in recent years, especially with Chaos decks like Dragon Link, etc. Also meshing very well in a deck like Ogdoadic, since most of their monsters, actually if not all of their monsters, are lights and darks. So we'll see if this Chaos Ruler is going to resolve. I do see an Imperm, or two actually, in the hand for our Prank Kids player. And no surprise there to see that an Imperm is burned, because like we all know how good Chaos Ruler can be, especially from decks again like Dragon Link. So that will not resolve here. I do see a Kaleido Chick in the hand for our Ogdoadic player. This could come in very clutch here to help get access to the Lunalight Engine. Could also possibly force another hand trap, but looks like it will go through, obviously, because it is cost to dump the Yellow Martin, so that's pretty much always free. Now we're going to get stopped there. Now we're going to see him go into the King of Feral Imps to go ahead and get another search. That will be met with another Imperm. So 3 hand traps down. Can he still combo? That is the question. And no, some of the Ogdoadic monsters are extenders engraved by tributing off your own monsters. And we will see that. I believe this is... which Ogdoadic monster is this? Ah, this is Curse. Yeah, so Curse... If this is in your graveyard, you can tribute a monster, special summon this card. Then your opponent can special summon one monster from their graveyard where it negates effects. If this card is special summon, you can target a level 4 lower Ogdoadic monster in your graveyard, special summon it, but banish when it leaves the field. So, the Prank Kid player will get to bring back an Ash, but our Ogdoadic player will be able to get access to the Curse, which is a level 8, so we can overlay with the Chaos Ruler for number 90. Now has established a monster negate, which is kind of nice. Then we're going to see Water Lily here activate, sending a reptile monster, which I have no idea what reptile monster that is. Just looking like an extender here, though, in this case. We'll see the, I believe, Nunu get banished since it was revived off the Curse, going for Halki Fibrax, and we're pretty much off to the races. Now, the Ogdoadic engine does have some restrictions to it. There's the 3 Ogdoadic tokens. You'll love to see it. But that is only while those monsters are on the field, and oftentimes, if you play it right, they are not. So a lot of the stuff is just perfectly okay to do. Cupid Pitch into Savage Dragon. He'll burn for 800 and equip the Halqifibrax. So now has access to a monster negate and an Omni negate. And our Prank Kid player only has a Called By left in hand, and I think a red. And if he doesn't have a way to protect that red effect, if his top deck is not insane, it's probably going to be game on the spot. So we'll see where this leads. So hoping to see perhaps a little bit more. Okay, we will see Auroradon activate. That's going to go ahead and tribute off the last token and pop the Ash just to give him less to work with. And there's the top deck Nib. Most loyal 6 card you'll ever see. So we are on to a game 3. Game 3 situation. And let's see who can take the Dublinski. Also, I'm not doing community tab polls this week because I didn't want to spam 8 polls all in one day. Since I'm trying to get at least the first 5 matches done today. All the Swiss rounds done. And that might not happen. So I'll probably get a couple commentaries done tonight and get the rest done tomorrow. Since I did get a bit of a late start. But we're going to see our Prank Kids player here open up pretty strong. Enchantress into Fateful into Prank Kid. Off to a really good start. Going to Meow, the blue resolving, and you can also like kind of chain block too. You know, chain link 1, blue, chain link 2, Fateful Adventure, right? Now we're going to see Griffin Rider get slapped on the board. Draco back on the board as well now. And we're going to see him go for a link 2 in that of Doodle. And he'll activate chain link 1 green, chain link 2 Doodle. Doodle is going to go ahead and add the place, or not the place, the pranks rather. Then we'll see him, speaking of place, go ahead and send place. And then we're going to see him summon out the Lampsies from the deck. And then we'll see him link 2 here again into another Doodle. And go ahead and burn for 5. Go ahead and spec out yellow. And we'll probably see him get to a Bow Wow Bark. If he even needs it, honestly. We'll see him add place and add blue. Activate place. Place will go ahead and search out another prank. Gonna go ahead and grab red. And if he has Pandemonium, well, I mean, this is just place is just gonna give him access to Bow Wow anyways. So we're gonna see him link off the token and the yellow into Bow Wow. We'll see if he ends up using the yellow effect here. Sometimes you really don't have anything in hand you want to get rid of to banish, to draw, and summon. So we'll see if he's going to go ahead and actually activate the effect of yellow. You know, Bow Wow to be pretty pivotal for the Prank Kid strategy. Usually adding back the things necessary to be even able to make Butler in the first place. And even, you know, make the Pandemonium live. So we'll see him go ahead and spec out blue. And set one, which is definitely Pandemonium. And we'll see him activate the pranks in the end phase, putting back Meow here. So probably prioritizing some sort of follow-up here as opposed to, you know, brute force with the double Raigeki. And we'll see him pick up an Imperm as the 6th card. Not as the 6th card, but as the draw for pranks, which is less than optimal. So I mean, that's pretty much the board minus DPE. I believe that's like one of the better boards. The best board this deck can put up is DPE plus Griffin Rider plus the Pandemonium access. And we are going to see probably one of the best counters to the board, which is evenly matched because of the token on field. And he's so good, he's got to have a second copy. Because evenly is a you can only activate, I believe. And Griffin is a negate activations, I believe, unless evenly matched is just straight up not a hard once per turn, which I wouldn't be shocked. But either way, this evenly is going to resolve whether his opponent likes it or not. And that is going to put him in a very tough spot because he is going to have to get rid of everything except the token, because that is the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Mechanics work. Tokens cannot be banished face down. Therefore, you have to banish everything except the token. Yeah, so evenly matched is just not a once per turn at all. Doesn't matter if you can only activate or use. It's just you can use as many as you wish to. As many as you have available. And, yeah, unfortunately, you know, for our Ogdoadic player, able to clear the entire board, but not really able to capitalize here, not having any engine, seemingly. And we're just going to see him set 2 and pass, and we're going to see our Prank Kids player lead with Enchantress to go ahead and grab another right. Now, most builds only playing one Fateful Adventure, and I oftentimes see a second Fateful Adventure coming in very, very clutch sometimes. Although I do see the fact that the only way his opponent was outing that board was by having exactly 2 evenly matched, which is something that's very unlikely to happen. Definitely shouldn't deck build for it, but can you imagine how clutch a second Fateful Adventure would be at this current point? We're going to see a Call by the Grave on the Roxy's, and that is going to prevent the Prank Kid engine from going off, which is very important here in this kind of simplified game state, as that Meow Mew is importantly used up. Now we'll see if our Ogdoadic player can try to climb back into this game. Our Prank Kids player has a lot of card advantage, but unfortunately not doing too much right now. Kind of bottlenecked here. We're going to see Nunu activate, pitching itself to dump a copy of Zoha to the grave. We'll see Zoha activate. It says if it's in your graveyard, you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard to add it back to your hand. So we'll pitch a copy of Serenade Dance. Then we'll see Nunu's effect and grave activate to revive itself. And then going for King of the Feral Imps. That's going to get hit with an Imperm yet again. So we'll see him resort to violence here. Into the battle phase. Over top of the Meow Mew for 1,300. And then into a Zeus. There's that Zeus. Knew it was in the extra deck, so we'll see him pass there with 1 set and a Zeus. This could be enough. I mean, Zeus on its own is just really good against Prank Kids. Stopping the normal summon, no matter how you do it, is always going to be very high impact. I do see a copy of Ash and Ogre, and I think double right in the opening hand. Well, not opening hand anymore, but in the hand for our Prank Kids player, alongside a copy of, I think, Fansies and Lampsies. Now, normally this would be a fantastic hand, but given the state of his engines, not really going to be too strong. And again, I can only imagine if one of 2 things here necessarily. If he had like hard drawn Griffin Rider while he had that token up, would have been bonkers, because it would have been made live immediately to threaten the Zeus and also help the normal summon go through. But we are going to see him link that Adventurer token into a Link Spider to commit the normal, then to a Fansies. Go for the Anaconda play, and the 1 back row, he was hoping it wasn't. It is Imperm, and that's going to shut him down big time here. He's probably hoping to force the Zeus. It's probably exactly what he was hoping for, but unfortunately did not budge, because he did have the Ghost Ogre in hand. So if his opponent would have, and made the decision and didn't have the Imperm in the back line, Ogre trades with the Zeus, he clears his own back or whatever it is, and then you can just write for another token and poke for another 2k. So we will see him go for the token here, and we're going to see him go for Dark, the Dark Charmer Gloomy, which I believe there is only 1 dark monster in the grave here, and is still going to kind of fall victim to the Zeus. And I think our Ogdoadic player here just double checking to make sure that if he sends it with Zeus, it will not trigger its effect to add a dark monster with, I believe, 1,500 or less defense or attack. It's one of those stats, similar to all the other Charmer links in the game. Probably just trying to go ahead and link climb here into something like a Unicorn. Something along the lines of that. So I think we will see a little bit of thought put into here to see exactly what and if he is going to chain here. He looks like he will. And there's the Ogre being burnt as well. So, yeah. that's a nice little trade there. But it does give our Ogdoadic player the time he needs to be able to try to get something going here. We'll see Serenade Dance get activated. It's going to force out an Ash seemingly immediately. And then we'll see our Ogdoadic player activate Ogdoadic Serpent Strike, new from Battles of Chaos. You can send one monster from your hand or field to the graveyard, then target a reptile monster in your graveyard with a different original attribute than that monster, special summon it. Kind of a clutch card to have there. And now we're going to see him summon out the Zoha. Also says during the main phase, if a monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard, you can send a reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard. So that is kind of clutch as well. Does kind of synergize with a lot of the Ogdoadic cards, as they oftentimes do, you know, force your opponent to like draw and discard, things like that, which is kind of cool. You may be allowing your opponent to see more cards, but like it does let your engine work, and there are some cards inherently built into the Ogdoadic engine that can kind of help mitigate the pluses you would be giving to your opponent. So we'll see him get Zoha here with that Night Sword Serpent. We're going to see him go to the battle phase here and just swing. Time is ticking down. 45-minute rounds, as I believe Konami is starting to do 45-minute rounds from now on, going into YCSs and regionals, so we have moved to 45 as well instead of 40. And we're going to see him go for the Baguzga, and that is going to seal it. Ogdoadic taking it 2-1 there. Hope you guys enjoyed this match. Leave a like if you did. And if you want to see more of my content, check out one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members, and they are Tweeters0226, Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Keith Scissors, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your extremely kind and generous support of the channel.